Hey, I'm back, and today what I want to talk about is 5 small misconceptions I had when I first came to Japan. So let's get into it. Okay, so I said these are kind of small misconceptions because these aren't big things, but they're just small things that I noticed, and they're things I was like, oh, that's different than I thought. So actually, before I get started, I should say I hope this video quality is better. I changed the lighting and I'm using a different camera, so I hope this is clearer and it's easier to see, and I'm using a different microphone too. I'm using the lavalier or whatever it's called, and I hope it sounds better too, so let me know down below. But anyway, so the first one is actually facial hair. I know it seems like a strange one, but before I came to Japan, like oftentimes in movies or something, you would see Japanese people with like facial hair, like Karate Kid, etc. And I thought it was, similar to America. Like some people had beards or mustaches or goatees, and some people didn't. But when I actually came here, I was surprised that there's barely any men with goatees, mustaches, etc. It's extremely rare. Off the top of my head, I can think of maybe 2 people I see that regularly have goatees or beards. Almost everyone is clean shaven. So I thought, over time it would kind of change, and maybe beards or mustaches or being clean shaven would go in and out of style, similar to how it does in the US. Maybe when I was in university and high school, like goatees were popular, and then they kind of went out of style, and then it was clean shaven for a while, and then it was mustaches were kind of popular, and now beards and things. I don't know, beards might be going out though now. Who knows? Anyways. But in Japan, it seems like for the last 50, 60, maybe even 70 years, clean shaven is the way to go. So I was like, oh wow. Even like having a 5 o'clock shadow is no good. Barely anybody will do that. Except maybe Ken Watanabe. I don't know, he has a permanent 5 o'clock shadow, it seems like, but otherwise, besides him and like 1 or 2 other people, almost everyone is clean shaven. So that was one thing that kind of surprised me. The next one is how much people like Kawaii. So this idea of things being cute, of course I'd heard about this before, but I thought like, it's just like certain people or like young girls or something, but I was surprised almost everybody likes it. And on top of that, it's everywhere. So I was surprised when I went outside and I saw I think it's like, electric transformer, and there's like, stay away from this is dangerous. But they use like cute characters, like there's like a cute guy with a little hard hat saying like, stop, and smiling, and then it's like an electric eel that looks cute with the big anime eyes, like, oh, watch out, you could die. I was like, really, the place to have something cute? Shouldn't you have like a skull and crossbones and somebody's eyes popping out or something? I don't know, but it seems it's strange to have that being so cute. But on top of that, they have these characters, which I believe they call yuru characters, and it basically means like, I think yuru is like weak characters, but it's kind of like cute characters. But for every prefecture in Japan, they have a like cute character that represents the prefecture, and I was like, that's strange. Don't they have like some national animal, or not national animal, but a prefectural animal? And maybe they do, and maybe I just don't know it. But usually they use this like cute character to symbolize their state. So I'm sure you've seen some. Like the most popular one is probably Kumamon, but of course every place has it, and some are more popular than others. But I was like, it's really strange to me that it was everywhere. I was surprised about that. The next one is actually about food. So before, of course, I didn't think like, oh, everyone ate sushi every day or anything like that. But I didn't realize how popular ramen is. Ramen is, I'd say, one of the most popular foods. And of course, being from America, like when I think ramen, I just think like those instant cup of ramens. But it's not that. They actually have ramen restaurants everywhere, and they have, I guess, high quality ramen where they're putting like slices of like pork or other things in there. And it's good. Like for me, it's not my favorite, but I was surprised that, especially men, when I ask most men like, what's your favorite food? Most of the time it's actually ramen. So I was like, wow, people really like ramen that much. But yeah, it's actually really popular, which surprised me. I was like, oh, I didn't know ramen was the thing in Japan, but it is. The next one is kind of like the lack of tough guys. So you see in like anime or movies, they have these tough guys, and like they want to fight, and they talk big and they're overconfident and arrogant. And of course, I was like, okay, of course, not everybody's like that in Japan. But I thought like, there's gonna be some people like that. But the number of people like that I don't even know. I'm not even sure if I've met anyone like that. Maybe like one or two. I've even met someone who was like in a gang with like their tattoos and everything like that. I can probably think of two people like that. And they aren't even like that. They're like very humble and kind and nice. And I was just shocked. There's no like guys, working out like, you want to fight with me? I'm sure there are people doing it, because I heard about a story last year where a guy was going around Akihabara and beating up nerds for money and tough talking them. So I was like, what? Although when you actually saw the guy, I was like, aren't you a nerd too? How are you bullying nerds? But whatever, I'm getting off track here. But that kind of thing you see in anime, it seems like it's just in anime. So there doesn't seem to be that many, guys like that in real life. So that was kind of surprising to me. And last but not least is kind of I'm not sure if I can describe this perfectly, but kind of pessimism and the lack of optimism in Japan. So before I came here, I thought, maybe it's like the US, some people are kind of, like optimistic and pessimistic. And of course, Japanese people have a reputation for being humble, which is true. But I didn't realize they had such a pessimistic view oftentimes. And of course, this could have to do with being humble, and maybe they're not actually pessimistic, they're just, I don't know, maybe just trying to be humble and it's an act. But to be honest, I don't think it is. I think they, in general, just are a little bit pessimistic about themselves, almost to a fault, I should say. So they did a survey, I believe about a year ago, and they asked people in Japan, like, how do you, what rating would you give your looks? And they did this, all over the world in different countries. And I think Mexico was number one. They thought like, oh yeah, I'm really good looking. So in general, I guess Mexican people thought they were good looking. But Japan, I'm not sure if it's at the lowest point, but it was close. It was very low. And I was like, Japanese people, I think in general, pretty good looking. So I don't know why it's so low, but I think this is just indicative of the pessimism that's around in Japan. And you'd be surprised at the number of people I've seen in Japan that when I ask them like, oh, what do you want to do? Like, what's your dream? And like, I have no dream. Jeez. I don't even know what to say to that. And it's not like it's somebody who's 60 years old and they wanted to be a baseball player and now it's too late. It's not like that. There are people that are, 15, 16, 25, 20. I was like, how do you not have a dream? Why have you given up on life? You still have your whole life ahead of you. There's no reason to not have a dream. But I think just in general, lots of people just think they can't do something. And although I was surprised recently, they asked young children, like, what do you want to be? And the number one answer was, I think, YouTuber, which is funny. So I was like, I'm a YouTuber, and trust me, you don't want to be me. Just kidding. I guess the pessimism is rubbing off on me too. But anyways, the second one was like a civil servant. And the reason is lots of Japanese people want to be civil servants is because you can't get fired easily and it's a stable job. So I was like, geez, that's kind of depressing that you just want a job like, I want a job that I probably won't be fired from, and the company won't go under, and I can do this for a long time and make a steady amount of money. Even if I don't make lots of money or I don't get lots of promotions or anything, it's okay as long as everything is safe. And to me, it's just pessimistic, but I don't know, I guess other people have other priorities, but it just struck me how many people, set their sights so low. And I was like, oh, you can achieve that. That's not so difficult, but I think lots of people think they can't. So that was just one thing that surprised me. So those are the 5 things. I'm sure in the future I'll have other things to talk about because there's more than 5 things that surprised me about Japan, but those are just like small things that were different than what I thought. But if you have any comments and there's something that you thought that was different when you came to Japan, or just something you want to ask me in general, leave it below. I'll try to answer it. Subscribe if you haven't done that. And until next time, see you.